welcome to Honeybee Chinese. So by the end of this video, you should be able to dub the first two verses of the song yourself, and part 2 is understand the lyrics of this song. Please click on like and subscribe in order to get more lessons or to get part 2 of this 4-part song series breakdown. How we will do this is first you will watch me dub, and I've linked in the notes below the video whereby I've dubbed the entire song already and is basically what you are aiming to achieve, and you're trying to do the exact same thing that I'm doing in that clip. Then we will learn with the clip by breaking down the lyrics. We'll give you a brief test of your knowledge, and then it's your turn to dub, which is the most important part of this entire 4-part step process. So let's get straight into breaking down the clip. So, 仔细地 means carefully, 看着 means looking, 波光 means the light hitting the wave, 清晰 means clear, 倒影 means reflection. So if we look at the word 仔细, the word 仔细 means to be careful, attentive, and cautious. And I've chosen these example sentences from a video made by Marco Polo Mandarin, just because I think these 3 sentences are quite useful in everyday context and everyday conversation.
我们来看几个例子。1. 考试的时候，记得仔细检查一遍试卷。检查是 to check， 试卷是 exam paper， 所以你仔细地检查试卷，是因为你不想它有很多的错误。2. 我得再仔细地把这个视频看一遍。那如果我不仔细地看一遍这个视频，很可能我有的地方不明白，或者是看错了。3. 你再仔细想一想，你到底把钥匙放在哪了？那如果我们找不到东西的时候，我们就应该仔细地想一想，因为很可能刚才我们有一些没想到的或者想错了的东西。好。
Okay, so these 3 sentences in particular are very useful because, you know, the first one is talking about needing to carefully check your exam paper. The second sentence is saying, I need to watch this video more carefully. And the third sentence, arguably, is the most useful, is if you've lost something like your keys, then you need to think very carefully where you last put it. Next word, 清晰 means to be clear and have clarity. Now, these example sentences I have gotten from Purple Culture Net, and you can gain access to the full list by just typing Kingshi, the pinyin, into Google and type in maybe Purple Culture Net. I think it comes up as the very first hit. Now, all of these example sentences are quite good, but I thought in particular sentence 2 is very good in the sense that, you know, it's very useful in everyday language to tell people that you need to be clear in what you're trying to say.
为什么有这样的感受？你可以在你的脑海中思考，也可以大声地喊出来，但要清晰确定。
So this sentence is saying that you can think what you like, you can feel what you like, but it needs to be clear and specific. Okay, so 是 means is, 另一个 means another, and 自己 means self. Now, 另一个 means another, and I thought these example sentences from Chinese Pod has been very useful.
这个房间是我的，另一个房间是他的。他有2个儿子，一个去了日本，另一个去了中国。
So as you can see from the screen, the first sentence is saying 这个房间是我的，另一个房间是他的 is that room is mine, the other room is his. So you can imagine even if you're doing house inspections for someone and you're introducing them to your house. And the other one is saying, yeah, I have 2 sons, one went to Japan, one went to China. So one went to Japan and the other one went to China. Very everyday use. Most of these sentences for this word in Chinese Pod are quite useful. So if you just type in again Google 另一个, I think you'll be able to access everything you can see that I've accessed on screen. Now, 自己 means oneself, and there are so many contexts that you can use the word 自己. But I've chosen this video from CCTV Chinese because, as I've mentioned in my previous videos, CCTV news reporters are subject to a very strict, rigorous selection process, and you only can make it to as a news reporter on CCTV if you have very authentic, a high level of authentic Chinese pronunciation and enunciation and voice, whatever. So, and also the quality that they produce is very high. And in this video, the reporter is saying that Trump is giving himself an A+ for combating the coronavirus.
和自己的抗疫表现却打分为 A+。美国的流行病学家表示
Okay, so that's that part. Next line.
属于我最真实的表情。
Okay, so 它 means it, 属于 means belongs to, 最真实 means the most real, 表情 means expression, and myself means 我, or 我 means myself. And the reason why I've used that as the last part and not explained it before in the chronological Chinese order is because myself is in the last sentence of this lyric in the English translation, and it's important to just kind of say that, you know, in the translation process, it's not always chronological. Sometimes the English translation of a Chinese lyric has to be reordered in order to make sense in English. So the word 真实 means real. And these example sentences are also quite good. In particular,
真实。你说的有几分是真实的？这可能不是真实的。
Yeah, so in particular, you can see sentence 1, which means how much of it is what you're saying is true or is real. And sentence 3, that's definitely, or it can't be true. So we can imagine that being used in a variety of contexts.
不愿意，生活中也是真心敷衍了。
So, 不愿意 means not willing / I don't want to. 生活中 means in life. 掩饰 means to hide. 真心 means my sincerity. or sincerity. And 敷衍, there is no direct English translation, but it basically means the same thing as to hide, to skim over, to cover. So 生活, which is life, as you can imagine, it will be used in many different contexts, but I've chosen a select few which you can apply in day-to-day life.
生活，生活。对哦，我们的生活不一样。
这里的生活习惯吗？我选择我想要的生活。祝你生活幸福，家庭幸福。
Okay, as you can imagine, there are so many contexts where you can use the word 生活, but those for like celebrating or wishing you a good life, a happy life is used in celebratory contexts a lot, or my life is very different to your life, a very everyday kind of word to be able to use. Next word is 掩饰, which means to conceal. And this sentence from Chinese pod, they're all quite complicated, but I think the second sentence in particular, it's complicated, but it's useful in the sense that you can see this kind of sentence appearing in the news or news headlines all the time.
掩饰。可是这要求合理啊，不就是因为政府假造财政数字掩饰负债，才造成现在的情况吗？负债的人要还债，本来就应该总结开支。
Yes. So as you can see from this video, this sentence, it's basically saying that you need the government is trying to hide or conceal its high debts, and that entire sentence is something that you would probably see in the news media somewhere. 敷衍 means to skim over, which kind of basically means to hide also in terms of, not in terms of a direct kind of technical translation, but in this context it's very similar.
敷衍。挪用公款这种事，没人救得了你。上次你单位小，层级低，而且念在你是初犯，我还能帮你敷衍过去，没想到你竟然一犯再犯。
Yes, so basically it's saying, because, it was a low-level offense and you were working at a small place last time, I could cover for your first offense, or I could hide your first offense really easily. So, the next line,
爱我的人的眼睛。
okay, so this line is quite straightforward. 爱我的人 means those who love me. 爱 means love. 我 means me. 的人 is those who are people who. 的眼睛 means in the eyes of.
我心中的自己。
So 我心中的 means in my heart, and 自己 means self, me, as looked into previously. Now 我心中 means in my heart, and this is used quite often in everyday language. So I actually took this from, or I was inspired by Baidu, which is like the Google search engine. As you can see from on screen, you type in 我心中, just a lot of things pop up. 我心中的英雄, so my hero, my sunshine, my security, and finally the role model in my heart, or my role model. So you can use in my heart as my shortly as well, but as you can see from Baidu, this is what people are typing to the search engine. So the hero in my heart, the sunshine in my heart, the security in my heart, role model in my heart. So 每一秒 means every second. 都愿意 means willing. So this is the last line in these two verses. And to break it down, to break the last line down of the first two verses is 为爱 means for love, 放手 means to let go, and 去追寻 means pursue. Now, in that line, 追寻 meaning to pursue, as you can imagine, is used in many different contexts. And I've again taken this out from Purple Cultural Net. And I've chosen, in particular, out of these 5 sentences, there are 2 that, to me, stand out in the sense that you could use in everyday life.
追寻，而最重要的是，要有勇气去追寻你的内心和直觉。科学是，或者应该是，关于追寻坚实的知识，从而可以将其有用的目的。
So as you can see from the first sentence, 最重要的是要有勇气去追寻你的内心和直觉. That's a very like motivational kind of sentence, and it's very standard. You can hear people say it every single day and like encouraging other people, blah blah blah. But the fourth sentence, 科学是或者应该是关于追寻坚实的知识，而且可以将其有用的目的 which is saying what should be science be doing, and science is all about pursuing knowledge that is useful and applicable. So I think, the second sentence is probably a bit more advanced, but it's used in a context that is not just in the context of motivational or pursuing love or pursuing dreams, but it's a bit more solid. Okay, so that's the first breakdown of the first 2 verses. Now it's time to test your knowledge of the clip. So the question is, which of the below is not a way of saying cover up, hide, gloss over, as mentioned in this video? So part A is 敷衍. Part B means 掩饰. C 遮盖. So out of A, B, and C, which of these phrases is not a way of saying cover up, hide, or gloss over, as mentioned in this video? So I'll just give you a moment there. And the answer is C, 遮盖. Now the first 2 options, all of these 3, A, B, and C, means to hide or to cover up or gloss over, but C in particular has not been mentioned in this video at all in the lyrics, so that's the answer. Okay, so now that you've watched me dub the entire clip, we've broken down the clip, and we've tested your knowledge. Now is the time and it's the fun part, where it's your turn to dub. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you enjoyed it, please give a like and a subscribe in order to get the second part of this song breakdown series.